For the third night in a row, we are tracking storms across the metro area. Bit tamer tonight for sure, with a break from the hail and tornado warnings. But still, more than a day's worth of rain is leaving its mark. And Denver's wettest day in 2 years isn't done with us yet.
South Adams firefighters helped some homeowners when their house flooded. Part of the roof collapsed today. The roof's been patched up, and Red Cross helped that family. The worst flooding we've seen today is on roads on the eastern fringe of the metro area. Adams and Arapahoe County closed roads around Bennett and Strasburg because the water got so high it was even washing things out in places.
Fortunately, roads in the metro area are in better shape tonight, but we're watching creeks getting pretty intense. First, let's get to Danielle tracking the wet weather, and this is going to stay with us until the morning.
Yeah, we have another 12 hours to go, and it is coming down. Just an absolute downpour here in the 9 backyard. The good news is there is an end in sight. If you're ready for a little bit of sunshine after a long past couple of days with all this wet weather pushing through. Wow. Can we talk about the total? This storm has produced more than 3 inches of rain out at DIA. We have seen our entire monthly average already. It's only May 11th. Tonight, the flash flood watch will continue through tomorrow morning just because we've seen so much water, with an additional 1 to 2 inches on the way. That area of low pressure off to the eastern plains, scooping up some moisture from the Gulf and then spinning it back to the Front Range Mountains through the foothills. It's almost like a sponge, and we're just wringing it out tonight. Look down south toward Castle Rock, Colorado Springs. Heavy rain showers down there. Here in downtown Denver, we continue to see all of the rain moving in up and down the urban corridor, and heavy snow up in the high country where we have winter storm warnings in place. The heavy rain is going to continue overnight. Might keep you up. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, you're heading out the door. You'll have to flip on those windshield wipers. This takes us to about lunchtime, when we'll still be looking at a little light rain. However, it will be backing off just a bit by the late afternoon. Looking at our 7-day forecast, wow, the weekend to come, it's going to be soggy. We'll go over the timing of all this coming up in just a few minutes. In the meantime, I want to get it out to my colleague, Jennifer Meckles. You have been out trying to look at different areas around the metro area and getting some flooding reports, but really, you're in a hat. You need a red umbrella. I'm going to help you out.
I know. I think my hair just dried out from last night, and here we are, just getting wet all over again.
I feel you.
We're downtown Denver, Confluence Park area. So the roads haven't been terrible today, but you can kind of get a sense of like creeks and rivers and streams. Look at what's just raging down here tonight. But that is by design. Areas like this were literally built so that whenever it got really, really rainy and started to flood, it could flood here so that it doesn't flood out into and around the city. So that's on purpose. We spent the day looking around town, trying to find out what the roads looked like and what other kind of trouble this rain's been causing. A rain so relentless, we were all basically swimming today. When Tommy Davis Park flooded in Greenwood Village,
I was skimboarding on the pond, I guess.
These 3 made use of the waters.
Yeah, we were at school, just saw it flooding, thought like this would be a fun idea.
Water was very high and running fast through the Cherry Creek Trail downtown.
The water is pretty high. We've been getting a few days of pretty significant rain, and a lot of the trails are underwater.
But that is by design. It's part of a bigger flood management system.
And so those reservoirs were actually designed to actually hold back waters to keep them from flooding the city and the region from floodwaters.
And Mother Nature sure gave it a workout today. Scott Gilmore with Denver Parks and Recreation says this is why the streets aren't covered in floodwaters. Water also covered roads in Cherry Creek State Park, and even claimed a few cars that got stuck in Bennett and Strasburg. Scott also wants me to tell you, and this may be obvious, but if something is blocked off, like the Cherry Creek Trail, do not try to go down there. We know how dangerous water can be to a vehicle. Imagine what it can do to a person or somebody on a bike. So you've heard his warning. One last thing, Scott says that they have a $4 million budget every year for watering in and around Denver, but the rain saves money for them, just like it does for us. $30,000 they save a day when they don't have to water, guys, thanks to Mother Nature.
$30K a day water bill. That's wild.
$30K a day.
Wow. All right. Well, hey.
Yep.
Taxpayers will take that. Jenny, thank you.
Out east in Strasburg, people had to work through the rain to clean up the damage from yesterday's hail. Tennis ball-sized hail fell in some spots, cracking windows, destroying siding, and leaving just a big old mess.
And pretty much everybody's houses out here, the west side of the houses are damaged. I've got windows damaged, and then the roofs are gone.
Al here says she's lived in Strasburg for nearly 30 years, and this is the worst storm she can remember, even worse than the damage they had from a tornado back in the 90s. It is a good week to be in the glass repair business. Glass repair places up in northern Colorado are still working through calls from the first storms of the week on Tuesday night.
You roll out of bed and you're like, I don't even get a chance to get a cup of coffee. And you're heading down to your shop because you want to help people who are in distress.
Not just cars. Mountain View Fire Rescue is trying to fix up emergency vehicles damaged while first responders were out helping others in the storm.
When they went to Pomona High School to beat up a student, 2 suspects just walked right in the school's front door. Jeffco schools leaders insist that their security system worked. 9 News reporter Cole Sullivan shows us new video of what happened last month.
This is the attack. 2 suspects beat up a student inside the cafeteria at Pomona High School. They aren't supposed to be inside the school, not because they're beating a kid up, but because they don't go there. Surveillance video shows they walked in through the front door.
Is that something parents should be concerned about, that that's able to happen?
I think we're always concerned with the open environment.
Jeff Pearson is the executive director of school safety at Jeffco Schools. He says the surveillance video shows the security system worked. A campus security officer confronts the 2 suspects as they arrive.
Unfortunately, those 2 kind of disregarded that campus supervisor at that point and proceeded to go elsewhere. And our campus supervisor did exactly what they're trained to do, and that's get on the radio and ask for backup.
The Arvada police officer assigned to the school comes running in seconds later. But by then, the suspects are already in the cafeteria, attacking a student police say they knew and targeted.
We were able to stop it within about a minute from it starting.
Pomona didn't go into lockdown, Pearson says, because the issue was resolved so fast. But he says it shows a dilemma the district faces, balancing high schoolers' ability to go to and from lunch on an open campus with the need to keep them safe.
I don't want to take some of that away, right? And I think it's important that we find the balance of what still allows them to be high school students, but not at the risk of not having a safe environment.
The victim is okay. Police say he only had minor injuries, and they were able to catch the suspects. But the district says all of this has prompted a discussion about whether they need to require students to wear IDs or carry key fobs to get into the doors of the school. Reporting from Jefferson County, I'm Cole Sullivan, 9 News.
Police say a deadly shooting in an apartment complex in southeast Denver last night started with a beating there. Police say the person was attacked, then came back with other people, got into a shootout at the apartments near Hamden and Dayton. 1 person is dead, 4 others are hurt, including a 17-year-old boy. That's the gunfire, 13 seconds worth of it captured on a neighbor's security video last night. Police say they have not arrested anyone. The other 4 people hurt are expected to survive.
Police in Lakewood say they've arrested a 12-year-old boy accused of threatening a school shooting on social media. Students told police about social media posts discussing a planned shooting at Crichton Middle School on Tuesday and Wednesday, with pictures of what looked like a handgun. Today, police tracked the threats to a 12-year-old in Denver. Police say they found a fake gun. The boy was arrested on investigation of interference with schools and harassment. The school stayed open today, but the principal told parents they had Lakewood police officers around just in case. Colorado mother will not see her own children grow as she heads to prison for dealing fentanyl that killed a teenage girl. Alexis Wilkins was sentenced to 20 years today. She admitted to selling fentanyl that caused a teenage girl to fatally overdose in class at Mitchell High School in Colorado Springs. The overdose happened in December 2021. Prosecutors said Wilkins was proud of her drug money earnings. She told the court she's sorry for what happened.
The woman accused of carrying out Colorado's biggest casino heist is out of jail. A judge agreed to let Sabrina Eddy out on a personal recognizance bond. She's been in since March, when investigators say she walked out of her job at Monarch Casino in Blackhawk with boxes full of bricks of cash, $500,000 total. An arrest affidavit says Eddy told police that she got a call from somebody she thought was casino management, told her to take the boxes of cash and deliver them to a guy. She said she dropped the cash with a man outside a hospital, then just went back to the casino. A judge in Gilpin County originally refused to decrease her bond, saying in a case with $500,000 missing, he did not trust she would come back. On Monday, the judge said he changed his mind after a private meeting with prosecutors and Eddy's attorneys. So she's out of jail, wearing a GPS monitor, and strict orders not to go back to the casino.